This is the program that shows you the side of police chase videos they didn't want you to see.
He picks up speed, look at that!
Bungled arrests, kamikaze crooks, and cop-based carnage of all kinds. Welcome to Cops Uncut 2, the real car crash TV.
On my way. Car's on fire.
Coming up, traffic cops and near misses, hillbillies and pickups, parked vans and big trains. From up here, Los Angeles seems calm and peaceful, but look a little closer and you'll find the usual chaos and confusion. Take the guys in this Toyota Land Cruiser.
Here we go. These are bank robbery suspects out of Villa Park.
They've just held up a local bank and made off with a haversack of cash. But amongst the swag is a hidden tracking device.
They were tracked by the Orange County Sheriff's Department.
And now they're being pursued through the heavy evening rush hour traffic by local law enforcement, as well as a very excitable helicopter camera crew.
Very dangerous, unbelievable as he passes these cars coming out. Oh, he almost hits that vehicle. This guy is out of control right now.
But while their vehicle is roomy and robust, it's not the most appropriate thing for a full-on chase.
110 miles an hour in an SUV. He is asking for trouble.
Sure enough, it's only a matter of time before the crooks face serious problems.
Whoa, he's losing control. He fishtailed, did he hit the car?
Fed up with the freeway, the fugitives assume, wrongly as it happens, that their off-road Toyota can do off-road action.
Now he's getting off the freeway, he's in the middle, hits the bushes, and now he's off-roading here. Let's see, he has nowhere to go, and it looks like he may get stuck. Looks like he is stuck.
Understandably unimpressed with their ride, the crooks leave the Toyota behind.
Getting out of the vehicle, foot bail.
And look around for another way out.
Oh, there, no, he's going to carjack that vehicle.
For a minute, it looks like the driver is going to pick up the hitcher. But he suddenly has second thoughts. Perhaps when he sees the size of the robber's porky partner. The guy in front may have taken the loot, but it's the fellow behind who's carrying the load.
Now he's going into a residential neighborhood, falling down the side of the freeway.
The suspects dive for cover.
Now they're both running down into the embankment.
Rolling down the embankment in the rounder robber's case.
He's holding a bag of money here. He can't go anywhere. He's fallen. There are officers all over the place.
But the bushes won't hide them for long.
Now walking casually, and he'll be walking over toward the 60 freeway.
Strolling steadily into the final motor of the evening.
Looks like we may have a suspect in custody here.
These robbers didn't seem to have much luck with their cars.
Whoa, he's losing control!
They bashed one, crashed another, and failed to hijack a third. But at least Fat Boy got himself some exercise, whereas Slim simply walks himself straight into trouble. To some, a police uniform is a sign of respect. To others, it's a sign that says, "Hit me." Here, it's almost as if Trooper M.G. McLam from the North Carolina Police Force is being used as target practice for the car that clips him at high speed. Officer McLam must be quite badly hurt, because any other cop would instantly chase down the hit-and-runner to wreak their revenge. Instead, he abandons the traffic ticket he was about to issue and feebly hobbles painfully back to the relative safety of his cruiser. The damage is done, but what can a cop take away from this? Well, he might learn not to stand in the road for a start, and after nearly losing a leg because of his uniform, maybe Officer McLam should consider hanging up his police trousers for good. American cops are usually very quick to dole out punishment for parking violations. But in the case of the bloke who's parked his SUV on the railway line, there's very little need for police intervention, especially when there's a train hurtling down the track. This is a unique form of parking control. The train is gone, but so is the car, the remains of which are later discovered more than 300 feet away. Thankfully, the driver wasn't inside, having earlier been escorted to safety by a member of the public. If there's a lesson to be learned from all this, it's a fairly obvious one. If you park your car on the railway, it's going to be a case of, now you see it, now you don't. Still to come, we pick fights, we trash cars, and we gang up on motorists.
Hands up, do it now!
Police Academy, lesson 399, the perfect police chase. As a cop, you'll get to sit in lots of police cars and chase lots of crooks on lots of open highways. But what's the recipe for the perfect police chase? Well, for a start, you need to search for the right person to pursue. Unofficial figures suggest that 99.9% of all US crimes happen in or around a dodgy pickup truck. So, when you find a likely-looking customer, try not to get too far ahead of yourself.
And look at that, the police officers are right in front of him.
Even when your suspect starts pulling crazy stunts.
Okay, it looks like he's in the center divider right now. Look, he's crossing over into the oncoming traffic. He's going to try and make a U-turn on the 15 freeway.
And whether the chase is fast and furious, or slow and tortuous,
About 5 miles an hour, about walking speed.
there are three recurring elements that crop up time and time again. The battered old pickup, the dodgy-looking bloke with the mullet, and if you check out the back of the hillbilly's motor, chances are you'll find plenty of drugs.
Early on in the pursuit, he threw a bag out that was confirmed to have methamphetamine, so there's maybe some drugs involved in this as well.
So you young cadets, let's just go over the list of vital ingredients for the perfect police chase once again. Stupid truck, check. Crazy driving, check. And hillbilly hair, all present and correct. What are we missing? Ah, yes, of course, the drugs. Class dismissed.
Taking off again.
When a high-speed highway chase like this one kicks off, the pit maneuver often comes into play. Depending on which US police department you're talking to, PIT either stands for Pursuit Intervention Technique or Precision Immobilization Technique. Either way, the pit maneuver is normally deployed by an experienced law enforcement officer in order to stop fleeing crooks like the car thieves ahead from getting away. And this usually entails ramming the suspect's motor from behind. But if the pursuing policemen prefer not to get their hands dirty, there's always a chance that the criminal driving the getaway car will get bored and try a pit maneuver all his own. Now that the suspect has helpfully trashed his own motor, it's a lot easier and safer for the officers on the scene to play the hero by wading in on the stunned survivors and waving their guns around. So if you're a traffic cop on the beat and you don't want to dent your nice shiny cruiser, why not just hang on to your suspect's tail at a safe distance and wait? It surely won't be long before he pulls a stupid stunt like this and spins himself right out of the game. Then you can flash your weapon and claim all the credit for making the capture. Nice work, chaps. In the Deep South, they tend to do things a little different.
I understand that, Mr. Pouncey, but I'll place you under arrest.
The Alabama cop on the left is trying to arrest the local on the right for various traffic violations. But it's not uncommon for disgruntled country folk to dispense their own homespun style of justice. This good old boy lamps the cop square in the jaw and delivers what's commonly known as a pasting. He doesn't stop, even when his two sons exit the truck and plead with their father to show some mercy. The redneck seems to believe he's taught the cops some kind of lesson.
You hear me, son of a bitch? I tried to tell you. I tried to tell you.
But with his whole family looking on, he finally stops beating the crap out of the trooper.
Stop it! God damn it, I'm letting him go!
The man's wife, or possibly sister, then starts laying into the cop.
You shut him!
But the worst is over. There are still some issues of ancestry to clear up.
I ain't no son of a bitch, you are. You are fucking something. Brian, come here. Come here, son.
Mrs. Redneck, meanwhile, demonstrates her maternal side. Time passes and backup arrives. While his colleagues deal with the homicidal hillbilly, the wounded policeman picks himself up,
You all right, man? Yeah, I'm all right.
dusts himself down, and assesses the damage. He's got a broken jaw
Here you go.
and a broken spirit. But when his fellow cops finally capture his aggressor,
Hey, I ain't fucking with you.
the officer is first on the scene to enjoy the show. There's just time for one last word on the subject
Shit.
before the doctors wire his jaw shut for the next 3 to 4 months. The country folk of Alabama are a peaceful, close-knit lot with a strong sense of family identity.
I ain't no son of a bitch, you are. Here you go.
But this cop found out the hard way that if you accuse a hick of breaking the law, he'll just turn round and break your jaw.
Taking off again.
As a policeman, you'll find yourself called out to deal with all manner of criminal activity, and the perpetrators aren't always human. The old lady here, for example, has been attacked, not by an armed robber or violent burglar, but by a swarm of angry bees. Luckily, the officer has arrived to help. He does what any sane person would do under the circumstances, and sprays the lady with a fire extinguisher. Being stung by bees is, of course, a little bit like being on fire, so that makes perfect sense. If anything, the cloud of dry powder probably only serves to make the bees slightly more cross. Eventually they buzz off, but not without stinging the poor old dear more than 300 times first. But at least the cop had a go, which is more than can be said for the lady's husband. He's clearly spent most of the time locked safely away in his truck. This footage shows just how adaptable cops have to be, because at any given moment they could be called from a scene of a homicide to deal with a case of insecticide. Still to come, evidence of aggression, examples of takedown,
Get your hands up, do it now.
and demonstrations of stupidity.
Taking off again.
It could be a scene from the movies, the cops chasing a pair of ruthless gangsters as they tear down the highway at speeds of over 100 miles an hour, zigzagging all over the road in a stolen black sports job. In fact, this nighttime pursuit is taking place in the middle of a very long bridge that spans one of Florida's many waterways. And the guys in this car are prepared to do just about anything to avoid getting caught. The cops, though, are equally keen on stopping them and perform a maneuver with their squad cars trying to box them in. The suspects swerve dangerously as the cops close in, and when they try to break free of the rolling dragnet, they collide with the cruiser and spin off towards the crash barrier. The black and white screech to a halt and the officers leap out to make their arrest. But they're too late. The car thieves have pulled yet another Hollywood stunt and jumped right over the edge of the bridge, plunging into the icy depths below in a watery bid for freedom. Understandably, none of the cops feel much like following them in. This over-the-top chase may have happened in the Sunshine State, but the water's just a bit too cold for these Florida cops. They prefer to keep their feet firmly on dry land and leave it to the Coast Guard to mop up the soggy crooks further downstream. As we've often seen on Cops Uncut, an otherwise well-executed crime can often be ruined by factors that nobody would ever expect. So far, the crook here hasn't necessarily made any bad choices. He's picked a fast car and is ploughing down the open road. Everything looks good. Until this monster of a low loader comes along and spoils his fun. When everything looked like it was going just fine, the driver's window of opportunity quickly came crashing in on him, with devastating effects. Viewed again in slow motion, we can clearly see the driver's error. He assumed that he can drive between the enormous lorry's wheels like they do in the movies. But this isn't the movies, it's real life, and the crook in this car learned the hard way as to why they call it a truck stop. Traffic cops are used to dealing with slippery suspects, the sort who try to escape, turn violent, or resort to a shootout rather than get a ticket. So when the Indiana policeman pulls over this guy in the car ahead for not signaling before a turn, he probably assumes things will get messy. Instead, he seems to get complete cooperation. The driver clearly puts his hands up in universally recognized "I give up" sign. He appears to be no threat whatsoever, even showing his willingness to comply by removing his driver's license from his wallet and holding it up for the police to see. But the arresting officer was expecting trouble, so when the suspect doesn't provide any, he has to invent some of his own. If we look at that again, we can see that without even the slightest bit of provocation, the policeman lays into the suspect with his nightstick and then wrestles him to the ground, as if he was a dangerous criminal. Quite how the situation has descended into such violence is unclear, but now even deadly weapons have come into play as the over-enthusiastic officer investigates the scene. Nothing's found in the man's car, and the suspect himself is now handcuffed and incapacitated. But for some reason, none of this seems to deter his captor from randomly kicking him in the privates. The mistreatment continues until another squad car arrives. In front of his colleagues, the violent cop seems less willing to display his violent tendencies, preferring instead to lurk menacingly on the sidelines and let the others have a go themselves. There's enough evidence of abuse on his own dashboard camera to get this cop kicked off the force for good. But amazingly, the officer is exonerated by a disciplinary board and a grand jury refuses to indict him. Which isn't just a kick in the balls for this guy, it's a kick in the balls for the whole American justice system. Some criminals like to get the most out of their local police force and try to see exactly how many different stopping techniques they have at their disposal. The cop here is using the infamous stinger to try and blow out the suspect's tires. The spike strip seems to have failed, so the officer involved needs to change tactics. A high-speed highway pursuit ensues, with the police trying to get close enough so that they can try another popular favorite, ramming him off the road.
Take him out, Cody. Take him out. Take him out. Push him off. Push him off, Cody. Push him off.
This skillful tactic requires some careful driving skills. Sadly, there's not a lot of that going on today.
Push him off. Push him off, Cody. Push him off.
And the incident quickly descends into a surreal, large-scale version of bumper cars. The suspect seems to be treating this like some kind of game, dodging attempt after attempt, and generally making the police look foolish. Even when his motor is made to slide sideways onto the verge, the whole thing seems to look like a big day out at the fair.
Peter, this subject is smiling at me.
Now the police think that they've got him cornered, but the crook is having far too much fun to stop now.
It's off. It's off. We got the dog. We got the dog. Okay, let's use him if we need him.
Even as the police start pointing their shooters, he reverses away and continues to flee. This time, as well as the dodgems, the crook leads the cops into a game of ring-a-ring-a-roses. But the troopers having a sense of humour failure. It's time for some serious action and serious weaponry, but this guy just won't quit. Even now, he tries to fire up his engine and continue to flee, but as the tyre smoke rises, it looks like he's well and truly stuck in a rut. A combination of extremely large cops, mad barking dogs, and lots of loud shouting finally persuades the man to leave his car. Even then, he tries to scarper on foot, but the police release the hounds, set upon the relentless runaway, and finally bring the circus to a close.
Okay, your lead's in his neck right there.
When the spike strip failed, the fun and games really started.
Peter, this subject is smiling at me.
But even the cops couldn't hold on to him. At least this crook provided something meaty for the dogs to sink their teeth into.
Get out of the car now! Get out of the car!
So let's recap, shall we? We went for a run in Beverly Hills. Got our asses slapped by the roadside. We're reminded where not to park and what not to drive. We saw criminals take themselves out and felons fighting back. Old ladies got extinguished and perpetrators fled from the scene. Then we smashed, bashed, and laughed our way home.
Peter, this subject is smiling at me.
Be careful out there.